Welcome back. We're at the Guildford Spectrum for the Women's British Gymnastics Championships. An opportunity to take a look at the elite in the senior women's competition and the up-and-coming youngsters for future Olympic and Commonwealth success in the juniors and espoirs. Amongst the contenders are Beth Tweddle, gold medalist at the Commonwealth Games, one of the success stories coming out of Lilleshall. The state-of-the-art facility is where our world-class gymnasts are trained. It forms part of the world-class performance plan that takes athletes through a series of stages. From world-class start, which is funded by Sport England, to world-class potential and the elite level of world-class performance, which is funded by UK Sport. Other competitors that are tipped to give Beth Tweddle a run for her money are Nicola Willis from the South Essex Club and Katie Lennon from Leatherhead and Dorking.
When you get the results in competition, you realise what you do it for. It's a big achievement. My best piece is probably vault, where you run along the long strip and somersault over a horse. And I like beam as well, but that's hard. You've got to keep concentration and just keep going.
Katie Lennon relaxing on the sidelines. She's favourite in our first event, the vault. Watching the action are our commentators Keith Richardson and Trevor Harris.
Thanks very much, Jonathan. As you say, we're starting with the vault, and the first girl we're going to see is Gail Campbell from Falkirk, and Keith alongside me, who's the Director of Gymnastics at the Pitt Street Gymnastics Centre in Portsmouth. Just took a step too many at the end there.
Yes, unfortunately with vault, then it's imperative that the landing is still. It's all part of the dynamics of the run, the lift from the top of the vault.
Nerve-wracking for the coaches as well as the competitors. Well, here's Gail's second attempt. 8.8 she scored first time round. She'll be looking to improve on that here.
Okay, still not as sharp as she should have been on the landing, though an excellent vault. Handspring point front with a half turnout, which is a fairly high tariff. But landing, as I say, not really as sharp as it should have been.
Slight improvement though, plenty of elevation Gail got. And that set a standard. Certainly excellent support here at Guildford, very well attended this championship. And next up is Katie Lennon, she's from the Leatherhead and Dorking Club.
Yep, coached by Vladimir Aksianov, who was an ex-top Russian coach, or Soviet Union coach. Good landing there by Katie, good vault all round, excellent.
Noticeable that the landing was much better than the one we saw previously.
Yes, most definitely. But still a shame about the one step from Katie there. But definitely a better vault, higher tariff.
9.175 first time. Here's her second attempt.
Okay, slightly underlanded that vault, but still a world-class vault.
Not quite as good for the judges, that one 8.95. And here's Beth Tweddle, who won a gold and a silver medal at the Commonwealth Games. Perhaps you could take us through Beth's routine here, Keith.
Yep, she's performing a handspring front somersault in the point position with a half L, which is quite a high tariff.
She'd be pretty pleased with that, I would have thought.
I would think very much so. Very much so indeed. Some of the viewers would be bemused, I suspect, by the new vaulting horse that's just come in within the last year. It used to be the broad vaulting horse, but now it's the new vaulting table. Super one there, Beth.
What was the reason for that change then? Why did they change the vaulting horse?
They considered that the vaulting horse, as it was, with the increase of difficulty of vaults, was too dangerous. So they've given the women now and the men use exactly the same horse. They've given them both the same horse with a broader base to land on, basically, or to take off from.
OK, well, here's Nicola Willis from South Essex.
Handspring front somersault with a half L. That's the third one of those we've seen, because it is a high tariff vault.
How important is it to get pace down the runway, to get maximum elevation?
That is of extreme importance. Good vaulters can get from the start of their run to the springboard in a very, very short time. It's very important that you hit the springboard running as fast as you possibly can.
Here's Nicola again then, second time round.
Same vault as Beth Tweddle there with the full twist. Excellent. But again, the large step on landing, which would have been quite highly deductible.
Still an improvement there for Nicola. But sadly for her, it wasn't sufficient to see her get a medal here. Katie Lennon was the eventual winner, and there was a tie for second place between Gail Campbell from Falkirk and Beth Tweddle from the city of Liverpool. Excellent performance from Katie, especially as she only just made the final.
I made a mistake on the vault yesterday and just managed to get into the vault final, and to come first is brilliant.
So success there for Katie, and now we're moving on to possibly the most popular of the events, the asymmetric bars, and first up is Rachel Collinson.
Yes, Rachel's from the very successful club in South Durham. Now performing her bar routine. That's what they call a pack, which is the change of bar there, which is necessary in women's high and low bar routine. She must perform somewhere around here a release and regrasp, which is going to be Kachev. And building up the swing for her dismount now, which is double straight back somersault, which in gymnastics terms, each move in gymnastics is given a value, and the value of that would be an E, which is a fairly high value.
Here's Katie then, fresh from her success on the vault.
Same mount as Rachel. That's a Jaeger somersault there performed, which is her release and regrasp. Healy turns, excellently executed by Katie there. And for a change of bar. Excellent. Back to the top bar again, now building up for the dismount with Katie. It will be a double point back somersault. Pity about the landing, Katie, but an excellent routine. Each routine is built up of different elements which they have to put into it, which includes a release and regrasp, a change of bar, and routines are given a tariff, and then the judge deducts from there. So Nicola, Bolton, the national coach, stood by. Nicola's at full time in Lillishall National Sports Centre at this point in time. Healy turn, Healy. Lovely, back to the top bar now, ready for the dismount. The routine's gone very well so far. See what the dismount is. Double straight back somersault, which in gymnastics terms is a high tariff, which is an E. Very well executed by Nicola there. Full turn over the top of the bar. Then the Ginger, which is named after a very famous high bar worker, Abrahard Ginger. These moves, if they're performed for the first time in the World Championships or Olympics, they're usually named after the person that performed them for the first time.
OK, here's Rebecca Mason. What can we expect from Rebecca, Keith?
Rebecca is an excellent bar worker. Technique is very, very good. The Ginger, immediate shoot to the bottom bar, which is very difficult.
She's a little shorter than some of her competitors. Is that a disadvantage to her or not?
No, it can be an advantage because the bars are set at a certain width for all the competitors. So if you're actually shorter, then it's easier to swing between them. So we've just seen Rebecca, she's done 2 release and regrasp, which was the Kachev and the Ginger. She's excellent, and a really super double straight off the bar there. I'm sure her and her coaches will be very pleased with that. The Ginger.
From City of Liverpool, Beth Tweddle.
And now we're going to see Beth Tweddle, who was the Commonwealth Games gold medalist on the bars, so great things expected here. She would presumably start as favourite, Keith.
She should do. She's got a really, really good bar routine. We'll turn over the top. Ginger. With a Healy combination. Building the difficulty all the time. Must go to the bottom bar, that's part of the requirements. Okay, that's excellent. Beth is the only one that does that in this country. Building for the dismount now, which is a back in full out, a back somersault with a full twist out of the second somersault. Excellent routine, Beth.
And very well appreciated by the crowd here as well in Guildford. We've really enjoyed that, and there you see it, 9.475. A terrific score for Beth, and no one's going to get near that.
Well, Beth, just recently, she's really making her mark in Europe and the top competitions that she travels away to.
Well, there's confirmation of her victory, fully half a point or more ahead of Rebecca Mason in second. Nicola Willis in third. She got a medal, some consolation for missing out on the vault.
Yeah, my coach said that I'd done well, so I was really pleased with that, and yeah, I was really happy with it.
Congratulations then to Beth, British champion in the senior bars. Proof that the world-class performance programme is working. Join us after the break for the beam and floor events. Welcome back to Sportnation and the British Women's Gymnastics Championships. Beth Tweddle's success in the senior bars is down to a lot of hard work and training at her City of Liverpool club. It helps when your coach is a former Olympian herself.
It has been selected as a high performance centre, which is through British Gymnastics. I myself do now work for British Gymnastics in the high performance centre as a national coach. We have lots of girls that come in to represent other clubs, but our coach there at the high performance centre, which is a wonderful opportunity for their coaches as well as the gymnasts themselves. But the coaches in Liverpool are just working very, very hard at the moment, and we've got a little bit of luck on our side.
Whether it's luck or hard work and determination, the City of Liverpool club are in danger of doing a clean sweep in all competitions today, with Alex Wilson winning overall in the Espoir Championships for ages 12 to 13, and Ashton Johnston, also from City of Liverpool, winning overall in the juniors for girls aged 14 to 15. Things are certainly looking rosy for Amanda Kirby and her squad. Let's rejoin Keith Richardson and Trevor Harris as the seniors move on to the beam.
And first up is Renee Jones from the City of Swansea. And bear in mind when you're watching these girls, that beam is just a fraction over 10 centimetres wide. That's about 4 inches in old money.
Yeah, this is one of those pieces of apparatus very difficult to work. In the past, we haven't, as a nation, been that good at beam, but we really are learning to stay on it and to come to terms with it now. It's one of those pieces of apparatus in World Cup competitions can either win or lose medals. Oh, difficult work there by Renee. Flick back straight somersault. Beam, a combination of dance and acrobatics. A bit of a wobble there, that would have cost her a tenth or so. But every tenth counts on this piece of apparatus. Full spin, which is one of the requirements. Front somersault along.
Yeah. Just temporarily lost her balance there, didn't she?
Yeah, not as stable as it should have been. Nonetheless, a very difficult move to perform on the beam.
Here's a dismount then.
And the round off twisting somersault dismount.
So there's the score for Renee. 8 exactly. She had a start value of 9. That means that's the maximum score that she can achieve due to the level of difficulty of her routine. Very fiercely competitive, this beam final. And here's Beth next up, fresh from that superb performance on the bars. What's Beth's beam routine like, Keith?
Beth's beam routine, Beth as an all-round gymnast is excellent, which has made her so successful in gymnastics in this country and with competitions that she's performed abroad.
They really whack into that beam as well. You almost sort of shudder when you see that.
Yes, yes. In training, obviously, they're allowed mats on, which allows them to develop these moves with very little injury to themselves. But nonetheless, yes, it is quite hard, although padded on the top. Can't be too padded because it must be a firm surface for them to be able to do these the moves that they do on the beam. Excellent landing there. Each little wobble or Incorrect landing will cost a 10th.
How far ahead is she thinking? Is she thinking just of her next move, or is she maybe thinking a little further than that?
I suspect at the time she's thinking of what she's doing, yeah, and she's repeated this routine so many times that now it becomes, yeah, not clockwork, obviously, but not a good landing there.
Just stepped off the mat, didn't she, as well?
Yes, which was a shame, really.
Okay, here we go now. The next
So 8.95 for Beth on the beam.
Yeah, at the moment the beam a very difficult piece of apparatus to get a very high score on.
Here's Nicola then, and that was a very different mount than the one we saw from Beth just before.
Yes, some gymnasts opt to go for a more difficult mount, others opt to get onto the beam. The theory being, let's not lose marks before we even start the routine. Get onto the beam nice and cleanly, and then put in the difficult rather than starting with the difficulty.
Okay, so Nicola's gone with a sort of safety first policy as far as the mount's concerned. Now she's got to score points on the apparatus.
Yeah, let's see what Nicola's going to do to score those points. It's the front somersault along, but unfortunately the landing was not as good as it could have been. I'm sure it's not as good as she has been doing in practice, but it's in competition that it counts.
And it's a real test of resolve too, if you do make an error like that, to put it behind you, because you can't get those points back.
Well, on beam, it's very easy to make mistakes like that and be phased, because it is a very difficult piece of apparatus to work. But good gymnasts compose themselves again, like Nicola has, and get on with the job in hand. Click, layout somersault. Better landing on that. The full spin, which was not good, there was a deduction on that, because the full spin did not come round cleanly. The whistle's gone to say that her time limit is up. Oh, she has 10 seconds left to do the dismount, which is a double back somersault.
Okay, we've completed this.
A couple of mistakes in there, Keith, but I think overall she'd be reasonably satisfied the way she recovered from those errors.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she doesn't look as if she feels she's done the best of routine, but nonetheless she stayed on because a fall from the beam is a minimum of 5/10, which really takes you out of the medal positions in any competition.
Well, there are the medal positions, and you can see again Beth Tweddle successful in the beam to add to the gold that she won on the bars. Second place, Nicola Willis, another medal for her, and back in third was Renee Jones.
Beth Tweddle.
So more deserved silverware for the Beth Tweddle mantelpiece. 2 gold medals already, and we've still got the floor to come. And that's what we're going to move on to now. And I suppose, Keith, from many people's point of view, the most artistic of all the events, that they can really stamp their personality on the floor.
Without shadow of a doubt, yeah. The chance for the girls to show off their dance and their tumbling expertise. Eva's a very strong tumbler, as can be seen there. Double front somersault. Unfortunately, the flag's gone up, which means that she has stepped out of the 12-metre square floor area.
Now, why are some of these gymnasts using mats, Keith?
They are, in some competitions, without deductions, allowed to use these if they feel that they need that as an extra soft landing area or safety landing area. Again, the same move, which is the double front, but the different approach from that one. That one came from a round off, a Arabian double front. Unfortunately, the landing wasn't as good as it should have been. Bit of a stagger back there.
Eva from the Weatherby Club, and there's a lot of elements of dance in here, Keith. What are the judges looking for in that respect?
Well, again, the leaps and spins are tariffed, and as well as the tumbles, they have to perform so many to build up their scores. Like the high-class tumbles, they are given values, and they are expected to perform these, not just get out there and do tumbling moves. So it's an all-round test of the gymnast's ability. Handspring, full twisting, straight front, punch front out. Good combination.
And we await the marks then for Eva. .05. She had a start value of 9.3. First place at the moment.
Yep. Unfortunately for Eva, too many little mistakes there.
Well, here's Beth Tweddle. We're just watching the end of her routine. And fair to say, Keith, it's probably not her favourite discipline, the floor.
No, I don't think it is, but she has 3 other very good pieces, which always give her a good overall score.
Second at the moment, but very unlikely that Beth will stay there with 7.925. Next up is Nicola. It's been very hard, Keith, for the judges to actually judge the artistic nature of someone's routine, because is it not fairly subjective?
Very much so, very much so. And you can usually see the difference in these girls if their clubs have choreographers, which is very much part of the coaching team. Nicola is at Lillishall, and they do have choreographers there.
There's a touch of the Olga Korbutz about this girl, I think.
Very much so, yes. Very high-powered tumble there, back in full-out somersault.
There's certainly a drama about this routine.
Well, they are marked on interpretation of the music. And for some gymnasts, they have this feel for the music, and they do interpret to the music better than others.
And the audience like to try and get involved too, don't they? A bit of clapping in the background there. They really feel into this.
Oh, they certainly do. I mean, all the clubs that go there take their own band of cheerleaders and support their own gymnasts. And there's always, at this competition each year, an excellent atmosphere.
A rousing ovation then for Nicola Willis.
Excellent tumbling there from Nicola. 2 very high-class tumbles. She opened up with a double straight somersault, which is very difficult. And there we saw the double back somersault with a full twist in the first.
And her score of 8.775 will be hard to beat. Trying to do so here is Katie Lennon. What can we expect from Katie?
Very good tumble. I think she's into pulling back out again, but in the pike position this time, which is a slight variation on the tuck somersault. Kate's dance skills are excellent. Building for a second tumble. Front somersault, walk out, double point somersault. Good landings. Again, bad landings cost marks. Kate really enjoying her gymnastics. Again, the leaps and the turns, which count equally as much as the tumbles. Getting her breath there. It is.
Now what's gone wrong there? Why has she stumbled so badly there?
Being the end of the routine, you need a great deal of stamina to complete that, and not quite the rotation that was necessary to bring Katie to her feet.
But still good enough for second place, 8.225. We can review now the full results of the floor finals. And victory for Nicola Willis with that very popular and very artistic routine. Confirmation of Katie Lennon back in second, and Eva Nobbs was third. So here's Nicola with her gold medal, and the state of British gymnastics, Keith, pretty healthy at the moment.
Most definitely so. The super work that British Gymnastics is doing in raising the level of our sport, but mustn't forget the support we're getting from the lottery funds.
OK, let's check then the overall championship result. Beth Tweddle, not surprisingly the winner. She won 2 individual disciplines. Second was Nicola Willis, the champion on the floor, and in third position, Katie Lennon.
So Beth Tweddle continues her domination of women's British gymnastics. After the break, we're back in Sheffield at the Sport England Active Talent Camp.